Hey guys, wanted to bring you another video of A Football Life of Doug Fluttie. That was tonight's episode on the NFL Network. So, most of you know that he's most famous for his college football Hail Mary. As you know, he's known, or most people would criticize because he's so short, he had to prove that he could play. He measures out at 5'9 3/4, and when he was in high school, his brother Bill Fluttie played quarterback for the high school team, and he would play like wide receiver, and they would interchange, or he would also play running back, but they're more known as an athletic guy. So if they needed a spark on the offense, they would interchange and kind of switch back and forth between that way. So it kind of showed how athletic he was in those old videos. And another unique, interesting fact was that his wife was a cheerleader in high school, so they ended up getting married as high school sweethearts and still married today. So that's pretty neat to see. He went to Boston College, was 9th on the depth chart, which was kind of interesting because that's a lot of quarterbacks to carry on any team. And then on his first college football game against Penn State, he had a great game, and from that point on, he became the starter. And because he had a great game against a really good team, Penn State, they decided to go with him from that point on. He had a great college career. Again, he was known for that Hail Mary against Miami. And so he signed with the USFL because he was afraid that he was going to get drafted pretty late with the NFL, and didn't want to take that risk of not getting paid that well, because he got drafted by Donald Trump and the Generals of the USFL for 5 years, $7 million, and back then that was pretty good money to try to pass up. After that, he played for the Bears and Patriots in between, and then never really got along. Like, he had different situations that went wrong in those stops along the way. In 1990, he went to the CFL and played most of his career there for a while. After he left the NFL the first time around, the owner of the Calgary Stampede still owes Doug Fluttie technically $700,000, and doesn't intend to pay him because he doesn't see why he should. And the interview was kind of odd because they were two separate places, and apparently Doug Fluttie had 10% ownership of the team. He played really hard considering he didn't get paid a single thing for that season. Usually his contract or his payment was a year later. So say like his $700,000 per year on the contract or something, example. That $700,000, he would have to wait until the next following year. So imagine if he got hurt, and he would have probably never got paid in that sense. So, and you saw how reckless, well, I don't know if you want to say reckless, but how tough and hard he would play, knowing that if this was his last game, is he really going to see that money? Which was really interesting to see. Shows you how much heart and how much love he had for the game. In 1998, at 35 years old, he made his comeback with the Buffalo Bills. He was going to play for a minimum contract, but then 3 weeks later, the Bills traded with the Jacksonville Jaguars Rob Johnson, and that was just 3 weeks after Doug Fluttie was signed, and they were pretty much trying to find an opportunity just to get another prototype quarterback. And first game of that season, Rob Johnson gets hurt. Doug Fluttie comes in, starts having a great game, and it's same thing as pretty much college. He starts having that hot streak. He got hot, carried the team, and helped them win. Now, pretty much they had the playoff spot locked, and the last game was against the Colts, and they wanted to rest him. That's what they told him. And So what happened was that Rob Johnson got to play the last game of the regular season. He comes in, has a really good game. There was a quarterback controversy, and obviously management wanted to get him in. They thought, okay, well, let's have him in the playoff game against the Tennessee Titans, which is another famous game for Doug Flutie. But this time he doesn't even get to make an impact, except he does not get to play or start. He lost his starting job going into the playoff. And I don't know if you want to say karma or something, but they ended up losing, as also known as the Music City Miracle Touchdown. And I remember that play. I mean, that was one of the craziest ending of a football game I've ever seen. And so maybe it's karma for what the Buffalo Bills did to Doug Flutie, and probably serves them right for what they did. So in 2001, San Diego picked up Doug Flutie, and he was mentoring Drew Brees during his stay there. And in 2005, the last thing most of us remember was that he signed with the Patriots as a backup for Tom Brady. His last play of an NFL career was a field goal kick as a drop kick, and that was the first time, I believe, that anyone's done that in that type of kick. So that was kind of interesting to see and know that it was his last play. He played 21 years in Canada and NFL and USFL. So he had a 21-year career with 9 different teams. Now he plays baseball, paddleboard, broadcasting, takes care of his son who has autism, and started a foundation called Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism. And I thought it's kind of neat what he does right now in his free time, and he's still being productive. And last comment I wanted to leave is that most teams are always looking for that prototype quarterback. If you're 6'4", you don't have to prove that you can't play. You have to kind of prove that you can't play. If you're 5'9", you have to prove that you could play. So that was motivation for Doug Flutie. He proved everyone size does not matter. And that kind of paved the way for the guys like Russell Wilson. Drew Brees is considered kind of short. Michael Vick, those type of guys. Thanks again. Please share, like, comment, and please subscribe to support this channel. Thanks again, and there's plenty of other reviews. Thanks.